What is up, everybody? Well, I don't remember where exactly we left off on the last video on this 7250 project, but I've been waiting for the engine wiring harness. I don't want to put too much more on till I get that all routed through, but they've had the thing forever, this company that's redoing it, and they say I'm supposed to get it today, so we'll see. But how about we do the cooling system? This is the 7-blade, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8-blade fan upgrade. And then instead of having the fan clutch, this is the direct drive kit. I got the front drive shaft back on, put new U-joints in there. Somebody has replaced like every hose on this tractor, which that's awesome because that's one of the main problems with these things. But these two hoses for the steering that go down and along the frame and inside frame rail, they had rubbed in some spots, so I replaced them and I made new hoses and wrapped them. But we'll put the radiator in. Here's all the foam that goes around it. I already put new rubber mounts in this bottom piece of foam on. The reason I'm changing the radiator, well, obviously putting a new motor and everything else in it, but yeah, look at the inside of the old one. Pretty crudded up. There's the new one. It's got extra core in it than factory. Got it from AP Air. It's a northern radiator, but I get a lot of stuff from AP Air. Air conditioning parts and whatnot. So I'll set you guys up. We can put the radiator in. All right, here's how I do it. The way Case designed this is kind of stupid. It's kind of a pain in the butt. I don't assemble this to the mounting plate on the floor, because if you tighten the studs down and suck it down to this, you can't get the hydraulic oil cooler lines through this corner. So I set the frame up here, and then I put 2x4s under it to hold it up. And then I take the hoist and lower the radiator down on the mounts and leave those nuts loose. I just get them started. But that way, before you lower it down, you can put these oil cooler hoses, lay them in here, then you lower it down and leave those loose, and you can kind of like rock the radiator to get this foam piece in there and this foam piece in there, and then just get in there with one of these ratcheting wrenches. I use these things constantly. Love those things. But otherwise, you can't get I mean, you can. It's just way harder to get those lines through there because they got a duck. They come up here under the front cover, and then they duck onto this plate and then go under the radiator. You put a piece of cardboard, whatever. I just used the kneeling mat between the radiator and the fan, so you don't have to worry about the fan blade screwing up your brand new radiator. And then all the bolt holes, the bolts that hold this down, I got lucky. None of them broke when I took this thing apart, but normally these bolts will snap. So I got new bolts. I put anti-seize on them, ran a thread chaser through the holes. And then these bolts, these super long bolts that go through the hinge on the AC condenser and the hydraulic cooler, that go through, hydraulic cooler sits here and that long bolt goes all the way through. That bolt gets rusted in this tube, and it doesn't allow you to swing them away to wash them out good, or they just get froze. So either replace those bolts, or like mine were froze up, but they were all right once I got them out. Just wire wheeled them really good and then anti-seize them so they won't freeze up in there. Now I'm going to cinch down those two bolts on the bottom, and then I can lower this thing down, and there's another plate. This plate goes under there, but I can lower it down and get all those small bolts started, and then we can put coolers, condenser and cooler, hydraulic cooler back in there, get these lines hooked up, and then work our way around to putting the shroud and the hoses on. I changed the hoses last fall when I bought this thing, so they're not old hoses that I'm putting on. They just got put on last fall. I realized I started putting this back together and I didn't hit play, but I got all the mounting bolts tightened up on the bottom. Got this hydraulic cooler in here. I've been buying some of these Milwaukee. I've got the standard and metric ratcheting wrenches. I really like them. I love Milwaukee tools. Oh, let's see. So, got my yellow zip tie. Pop these off, caps off. Probably ought to change these O-rings. Yeah, pretty flat. It's Friday, so I figured I better get video out for you guys to watch. Mrs. G has a 3-day weekend off of work, so I am hoping that we can get a lot done on this thing. We're gonna prime and paint all the stuff. So we'll do a video on that. If you guys didn't see, I put out a short video earlier this week. I sold the red F350, Big Red. I really didn't think it was going to sell. I was kind of hoping it wouldn't. But she's gone. Paid exactly my exact asking price, so that's good. And the old body style is on auction time right now. I think this bidding on it ends this coming Wednesday. The last time I looked, it was at somewhere between 9,000 and 10,000 was the bid so far. I really hope that one does good. So I guess I'm just gonna be down to the Super Duty trimmer. That's fine. I love those 7.3 Power Strokes, but like Mrs. G said, I'm always dumping money into them. Or trying to make them better. Not that I won't do that with the trimmer, but I kind of like driving the trimmer. It's nice to have one that rides nice and is quiet. Getting old, I guess. Been trying to simplify a lot of things in life here. Less is more anymore to me. I was getting overwhelmed with all the crap I had. I sold a bunch of tools over the summer on auction time, like tons of them. And I still have tons of tools. And for the most part, they brought really good money. Some of the Snap-on stuff, some of the hand tools brought more than I paid new for them. All right, those are there. I'll do a tool video one of these days. I need to do a tour video of what I have left just for insurance purpose. All right, we'll put this cooler on, or condenser. This is a new one. Looks like I'm gonna have to bend this bracket down a little, or I'm gonna have to cut some off of that. Try bending it a little. come on now, get in there. I freaking hate anti-seize, but yeah, absolutely hate it. But sometimes it's necessary. Okay. My old man doesn't work on much anymore, but he used to pretty much do the majority of all of his repairs on all of his equipment. And you could always tell anything that my dad had worked on because he was what I referred to as an anti-seize cowboy. Like, if it threaded into a hole, it had anti-seize on it if he was working on it. Like, I swear, you'd work on one of his pieces of equipment after him, and you might as well just take a shower in the crap because you're going to have it all over you. Mechanic once told me that it gets in your bloodstream, and I'm like, in your bloodstream? He's like, well, yeah, you start out with one little spot on your finger, and next thing you know, you got it head to toe. This is true. So I've got all new AC lines from AP Air. I've got a new AC compressor from Case. Next video, I'll probably do on installing the AC system and the engine wiring harness probably. But as far as tools go, like, I've changed so much in the last year on the way I look at things. I really like Snap-on, Mac, whatever, but I quit having the Snap-on guy come here. He hasn't come here for close to a year because it was like, my Snap-on guy is awesome, super nice guy. Every time he came over, I'd feel bad that he drove out here for me, and I'd always end up buying something. And then next thing you know, you're spending a couple grand a month, and on a bunch of crap that I really didn't need. So now I sold off a ton of tools. After I got rid of the service truck, I had a full set in there. I had pretty much 3 sets of tools. I got rid of a ton of it. I could care less if it's Harbor Freight stuff. I mean, some of their hand tools are just garbage, but like the Icon stuff seems pretty good to me. I mean, I don't really own any of it. It just looks good. Whatever gets the damn job done. Like, some of these tool guys just get completely triggered by Harbor Freight. Who cares? Like, get a life. All right. That's all bolted in. We can so I swapped, oops. I swapped these. I should have got new ones, but I didn't. Swapped these off from the old radiators, so now we can put that piece of foam on. This foam that goes all the way around the radiator is often overlooked. Like, guys will slap a radiator in and all that foam's disintegrated and they don't put it back on the new radiator. Well, that really serves a purpose of sealing up the side panels to where it draws the air through the front. It makes a bigger difference on cooling than people realize. Get this sticker off. All right, so we just start right there. That should work. Put some fan shroud bolts in here. I know that there was a clip. This clip was up here. There's a wire that goes up to the coolant sensor, like level sensor. And there was a clip on the bottom here. I ordered a new level sensor because things are plastic and they always break if you try to get them out of the old radiator. That one snapped the minute I tried turning it out. So we'll just put a new one on. Just like how I feel about tools and everything like that, I feel the same way about farm equipment. I got rid of, I had a T8 New Holland. I sold that and made a very, very nice profit on it. Nice enough that it paid, the profit on it paid for this tractor. I was able to just buy this without a loan. And there was still pretty much enough left over that I purchased that Caterpillar without a loan too. We're gonna run it this spring, but farming, it's looks like it's going right down the crapper again. I love farming, but I'm kind of tired of all of the risk that I take to rent all of my land. I dropped one farm after last fall, so I'm like right at 1,500 acres now. I don't know. After this year, I'm not sure. I'm kind of thinking about cutting back on farming, less less acres and do. I've got a couple options of side stuff. This I took out of the other radiator and cleaned it up. Some different options that I have to where I could farm less acres, but still farm and still be around home, other than maybe I don't know, a couple days a week. All right, that's it. I always use this silicone hose. HPS is the company. This stuff seems to hold up a lot longer than just the standard like coolant hose. This stuff doesn't crack. Upper hose on. Now I'm gonna leave that loose till I get the side bracket, that goes from there to there and down, and that's what pretty much sets where the radiator is. I think it's got to come, it's gonna be more like that. We can just loosely put this in. So all that's left is put the bracket here back on each side. I'll throw the shroud bolts in over there. Once this is all situated, I can tighten the clamps. Go get my new level sensor there from the dealer. And then I'll be able to put coolant back in it. The nice thing about these with the intercooler, it's got, I don't know if you can see it, there's a petcock on the intercooler, the air to water intercooler. When you're filling it, you just loosen that petcock in it. As soon as coolant starts coming out of there, all the air is out of the system. You don't have to use a air vac to refill one of these. But all right, guys, this video is going to be long enough. It'll give you something to watch, and hopefully we can get another one up later this weekend. So have a good one. Thanks for watching.